first generation launched about 8 years ago and has been one of our best-selling products in surveillance retrofits ever since. UltraReach EOC carries IP data and PoE power over existing coax RJ59, RJ6, RJ11, and even UTP and a twisted pair cable for past 100-meter Ethernet limit. The camera and the NVR get upgraded. The cable in the wall keeps its job. And today, we're looking at EoC2. Same core idea, same UltraReach foundation, stronger engineering for long-term surveillance deployments this system actually live in. And let's get into it. EoC2 isn't a replacement in a functional sense. Both versions meet the same core requirement, IP data and PoE power over coax that's already there. What the upgraded edition EoC2 adds is on the engineering side, structural and cooling refinements aimed at the kind of installs these things actually live in. There are really only 3 upgrades on EoC2 worth talking about. A refined integrated design. It added the bottom aluminum heat sink, and it improved the PoE and the data stability, which comes directly out of the first 2. Started with a refined integrated design. This isn't about the looks, it's about enclosure. The board mounting, the connector layout, and the heat path all working together as a cleaner physical platform. Take one apart, you can feel it. Everything sits where it should, and the thermal interface between the board and the body is more deliberate. And the whole thing just hang together better as a single unit. That sets up the second upgrade, and this is the one that does the real work. They added the bottom aluminum heat sink. Aluminum on the bottom gives the heat somewhere to actually go. A direct pass of the active components on into much larger conductive surface. Less thermal stress on the electronics. More headroom when the unit is running hard for long stretches. And that's where the third point comes from. Improved PoE and the data stability is a direct outcome of the tighter physical design and heat sink underneath. When the electronics aren't running hot, PoE delivery stays steady and the data link stays clean. Bench testing on the same RJ59 cable at the same input voltage puts EoC2 roughly 50% further on 100 megabits per second usable distance compared to EoC1. The total reach hasn't changed. What changed is a runway at a full 100 megabits per second. The high bandwidth zoom gets 50% longer, which directly benefits the camera that actually need that bandwidth. 4K extremes, high frame rates, bandwidth-hungry IP installs, same maximum reach, more useful room inside it. The installation experience is the one thing EoC1 got right, and EoC2 keeps it. Receiver on the network side. Plug into your PoE switch or your PoE injector. And transmitter on the device side. Connect to your IP camera or whatever PoE device you are feeding. Existing coax is in between. No configuration, no framework setup, no pairing app. You connect it, you power it. It links. One thing to be very clear on, because I have seen this go wrong multi-camera installs. This is a dedicated point-to-point product. One transmitter, one receiver, one cable run between them. It's not a multi-job system. Don't try to bridge it. Don't try to daisy chain it through a tap. If you got 6 cameras, you got 6 pairs. Quick compatibility note before you spec this in. EoC2 is on platform. It's not interoperated with first generation EoC1. It does not work with EoC switch. Treat it as a clean sheet deployment. A matched T2 and R2 pair end-to-end. If your project is built around a EoC switch or existing EoC1 hardware, stay on the EoC1. If you are starting afresh, design around the EoC2 from the day one. The EoC1 is not being phased out. Both generations will continue to be sold and supported in parallel, and we plan to keep that way for a long time. The first generation EoC still has its place, is the right answer for projects that need EoC switch interoperability. For sites already running the first generation EoC hardware that's working fine, and for installers who have standardized their workflow around it, EoC2 is the right answer for fresh point-to-point retrofits where engineering refinement matters. Two products, two project shapes, same product line, both supported. One more thing before we wrap up the platform conversation, because it ties into the broader strategy. The EoC product line isn't standing still. EoC2 is a current generation for coax retrofits, but it isn't the end of the roadmap. Coming around June this year, we're releasing the Twisted Pier edition of the EoC platform, built for sites where the existing infrastructure isn't a coax, but is a twisted pier, and where the same reuse logic applies. Beyond that, a high-power Gigabit version is in development. A metal housing platform supports L2.3 BD power delivering Gigabit data rates. That one targets a different project shape. Installs where bandwidth ceiling is a Gigabit rather than 100 megabit, where the camera load is in 60-watt class instead of a standard 15 to 30-watt range, and where the deployment environment justifies a more rugged metal enclosure. EoC line is being developed deliberately to cover a broader range of the real-world retrofit scenarios. Different cable media, different bandwidth tiers, different power classes, and different enclosure requirements, different projects need different tools. The line is being built that way on purpose. And this is LINOVISION. See you next time.